subscribe.
The Angry Ops Guy podcast, featuring Mike and Christina, pushing the ops machine forward no matter the grind. Real talk, real stories, and hard truths from two battle-tested pros.
Welcome back to the Angry Ops Guy podcast. I'm Mike Gualtieri, the Angry Ops Guy, and I've got Emily back today because Christina is MIA. Emily, what's going on? Back for another torturous song number 3 we're going to go through?
Oh, decidedly not torturous. If you haven't listened to them yet, you should. And Mike will tell you too, because he's still mad at me for not listening to them when he sends them to me. So
No, I just have to create my own form of therapy because standard therapy is just way too expensive. So writing songs can be a good outlet.
there you go. There you go, kids. Okay.
So, Em, what song have you caught up on that you'd like to interview or question me on today that you will not listen to even when you put this bonus episode together and then put it at the end?
As if I haven't already listened to it to decide whether or not we were going to do it. It's called Waste of Time, which it is not. It's a tricky one that way. But I do have just a pretty quick question for you to kind of kick things off here, Mike. Who hurt you? Who hurt you?
That's not nice. That's the Emily coming out of episode 11 of the podcast, just slaughtering me. Who hurt me? Everyone.
Oh, good. All right. Well, thanks so much for joining us for another episode. We'll see you next week.
Well, I think it's not who hurt you. I think it's a matter of taking ops too personal, taking work too personal versus knowing where to draw the line. Because that could certainly be a theme if people dig into my lyrics like you do. Who hurt you? And maybe I've been hurt since a child, and this is how I do it in my mid 30s, or late 30s. But it's just a matter of how to express frustration in a way that you're not going to say the wrong thing to the wrong person, but try to change it into something that can, again, be humorous, entertaining, but also, again, an outlet to let something off of your brain that happened, which is a big part of this particular song, Waste of Time.
Yeah. I mean, I do want to say, and this is directed at Mike, but also, all the ops folks out there. We chatted last time about how it's easier in sort of a setting like this to, I guess, almost like dehumanize the person on the other end because we're always talking through screens. And so
I'm not a human, just a screen.
Yeah. So just a shout out to our ops managers and directors and just general ops folks out there, because you put up with a lot of BS most days, which shows up in your lyrics oftentimes. So thanks.
Yeah, shout out to all the ops people out there. You're absolutely right. You're heard, you're seen as much as you don't think you are, and that's a big staple of the foundation of the Angry Ops Guy brand that Christina, myself, and you are working to just continue to extend and get more people to follow and understand. Is simply that is. It was built as a tool for ops people to know that there was other people out there practically or could relate to the stresses and the frustrations and the quirks and the nuances and the BS and everything else. Now, look, the job isn't all of that. Look, that's part of the cannon fodder, the fun in this kind of narrative that I like to put out there. But yeah, a lot of days are stressful and technology is stressful. And ultimately, no matter what job it is, people are stressful. And just, again, what's your outlet to let it go? And again, these AI generated songs have been a way to really just take thoughts and frustrations and pain and happiness and just try to put it in a way that other people will hopefully have an ear for and can rock out for a couple of minutes. Or in the case of Emily, let's just throw them in the trash and not pay attention to them.
No, not true. Okay, you open this song with "My fear is letting people down." Why did you lead with that? That's a pretty heavy lyric.
That's a good one. I like that one.
Yeah.
Probably because it's true. Whether it's right or wrong, or whether it's not reasonable, it is something about me, whether it's an internal flaw or insecurity. I have a tremendous fear of letting people down. And that's the honest truth. There's no humor in that. It's kind of how I'm wired, is that, somebody being disappointed in me or let down. It's like that. I make this joke with you all the time, whether it's on camera. It's like, Emily, it's like, I'm not upset. I'm just disappointed. It's like, Dad must have said that to me when I was at that pivotal growth stage. And it just then it just changed the trajectory of my life, saying, you are going to be a disappointment. No, I
Oh,
love my dad. He probably didn't do that at all. But it's just the truth of it. It's like, I fear letting people down. I'm wired to help people. I'm wired to take care of people. And I'm wired just to always to want to do more for others than myself. So that's kind of where I reflect in that. This song has a story behind it, and again, we'll share a little bit of it because some of the fun is the mystery versus the reality. But those two lines: my fear is letting people down, constant disappointment from this ops guy, is kind of hand in hand. So I fear that, and I feel like I'm just constantly disappointing people, me whether I am or not.
nah, I'm doubtful that you are. Um, you have a line in here. We worked for years to build the client success to watch it be taken away by a local pest. That tracking tag, yeah, it goes right there. So that tracking tag line, how often do you feel like ops gets blamed for everyone else's confusion?
Well, I don't think it's that they get blamed for confusion, um, but they don't appreciate what we can do. So my point being with that is, it's like, how many times, even you at CIPR, whether it's Christina or you or Karen or whatever, anybody that's in an account facing role, everybody just says like, oh, I got this new guy coming in and we're going to, take it over and thank you for your relationship, or what happens all the time, right? Unfortunately, people go different ways and, whatever it may be. And then you're like, okay, well, we're going to end this and we're going to exit positively and we're going to make sure you have everything you need and so forth. And like the most basic of things that need to be done, and the next person that's taking over for you is like, huh, how does that work, where does that go? And you're sitting there going, I'm being replaced by this. That's what that lyric's about. It's actually not about putting the blame on ops. It's about all right, if you're going to want to discontinue our partnership and so forth, and thinking that it's better on the other side, then if your person can't install a tracking tag without my guidance in the exit, then that's what that one is about. Look, what we do is highly technical. A lot of people can't see a lot of what we do, and that's okay. But there is a science behind setting up tracking tags and events, and how to get data to move and to record correctly and push it back to AdWords or push it back to Meta and improve optimization and so forth. And if you can, everybody thinks they can do it. And, I've said this to you before. It's like, I would never tell a roofer how to shingle a roof. So don't come in and tell me how to set this up and set that up. That's what you pay me to do, because I have the experience or this skill set to do it correctly. Otherwise, you would be doing it, and I would not have a job.
Yeah, no kidding. I feel like I think we've discussed it before, where it's endlessly frustrating that people think that they can do your job for you. And so it's like,
and I think with that too, I think that with just too, it's fair to say is that it's also the frustration of when you've been doing it a long time. And this is not all to be egotistical or arrogant. I really don't want to be calling it, but it's like, when you've been doing something for a long time, 5, 10, 15, 20 years, you know what you're doing. Now, you're not replaceable. You're not replaceable, but you do know what you're doing.
yeah.
And you can detect bullshit in a call or a conference call where somebody is not up to par. And you're just kind of sitting there going, like, there's always that person on a call, no matter what it is, that's like, oh, the loudest, oh, we're going to do this and we're going to do that and we're going to set this up. And we're like, you have no idea what you're doing. And you just like, do I have that reserve to just smile and swallow it? Or is Ops Mike going to choose rage? But ultimately, in closing, because this was a way too long answer for what you really wanted to get out of it, is it's the frustration of when somebody talks a big game and then still needs you to do the most simplest of things, even though you're clock for getting paid is running out very quickly, and you're sitting there going like, yep. So yeah, that tracking tag, yeah, it goes right there. Sorry, Ops Mike, what's that and where? And that's literally what I was asked on a call.
It's a great segue. What is the story behind Bye Bye Mr. Client? You're a waste of time.
Well, I think you have to set that verse up because that is a great kind of end line to that. But the verse is, this sets back our growth. What the hell? We did our best. Now I'm mentally down. Chaos is my game. It's where I thrive. Bye bye, Mr. Client. You're a waste of time. So the idea with that is it's like you work so hard for clients. And again, this song is not about painting clients in a negative light. It's just the reality of the stresses of the job and our livelihood. But it does, you lose a client after working really hard for them for however amount of time, and you think things are good. And, maybe also say like, it's when the carpet's pulled out from under you, right? Like, when signals or things are going bad. Like, Emily, got 60, we're going to give you another 30 days here, but we got to see things tighten up, smooth up, and then you're on the clock. But if you don't have any indication that things are wrong, you have, we want more, we're going to do this, great, whatever. And then it's just literally like a snow shovel hits you in the side of the face. It's like, whoa. So it's that feeling. It's like, great, this is going to set us back now for where we were going. Didn't expect it, couldn't forecast it, couldn't plan for it. We did produce an excellent result. Now I'm in the shits. Welcome back to chaos, because this is what I deal with. And ultimately, it's just like, okay, well, if you don't respect what we do and can't see the value, then unfortunately I have to say bye-bye, and maybe you're a waste of time.
I do want to highlight, there's a pretty iconic WSI shout out in this song. You want to talk about that at all, Mike?
Oh, why not? It's my it's my other love of my life, Mr. Jack Porter Smith. Jackie boy, I love you, buddy. So can I just tell you, I've said this indirectly on other ones, but we haven't done really any songs with them. So before we do this, I thrive off of trying to attack Jack in these songs. Like, this is my greatest form to tell him that he's my best bro and I love him. Okay. So anybody that actually listens to these, no, I don't hate Jack. No, he doesn't hate me. Well, at least I think so. Yes, we call each other fat. Yes, he made fun of me in front of the entire convention. It was hilarious. I may have told the entire training session that I hated him. And from there, it's just, I've built this aura of like, what are we going to do? But we are just two male immature idiots. We are grown men that should never have been placed in running agencies. He's heavy. I'm heavier. And now that I have an outlet to express myself, I'm going to see how I can twist it to attack Jack. And then I send them to him saying, hey, you're in this one. Go figure it out. So I love it. It's okay. So that's the whole story. But you go ahead and read. You want me to read the lyrics, or you want to read the lyrics?
Yeah, I can read them. The resort buffet, they fear ops me. Now Scotland's calling. Hey, Jack, you're heavy. Small ops teams, you got to hold your weight. Don't waste my time. A hiring mistake.
Boom. I absolutely love the way that one comes through in this song too. It's because I wanted to get that first two lines to be almost that kind of humorous versus like, I didn't want it to be hateful. I wanted to kind of be like, hey, I'm Colin, you're heavy, which exactly ironically it came through, which was cool. And as soon as that, I'll tell you this too, when that verse or that lyric came through, it was that, got it. And it didn't matter what the rest of the song was, but I knew the way that one hit, that song was done. So that was the verse that I was looking for, that if I could nail it, the rest of it could be whatever. So the resort buffet, they fear ops me. So that's about Punta Cana, where I had a very tongue-in-cheek, playful little line in my presentation where I basically said, I'm Mike. I've been with WSI at the time for 13, 14 years or whatever. This is what I looked like when I first started. I was like thin in like a dress shirt. I actually looked like a normal human being versus what you see in front of you. And as no one can see because we don't do video. let's call it, just say, bloated versus a 24-year-old dapper gent. But Jack came into the presentation late. And all he saw was like, oh, I hate Jack Porter Smith. And it was one line. Everybody was like, and I right away I was like, guys, relax. He's my best friend. I love Jack. He's brilliant. Go watch his keynote today. He's going to kill it and whatever else. But Jack only caught piece of it. And he went right on the offense, basically going, this son of a bitch, like, you're going to do that. And then he was very gracious, and he stood at the back of the room for my presentation. I went at him again for something very small, but now it's on. So I didn't think anything of it, just a little bit of banter between two friends and so forth. Well, we get into his keynote. Everybody's in the keynote. Dan Monahan, Valerie, the entire network, we're all in there. Jack's on stage at the time, and he is in peak form. He presents a brilliant keynote. If I remember, that one was around Utopia ads at the time, because they were rebranding WSI paid search to Utopia ads. But just he's just so good on the stage. He just draws you in. And he was talking, he had some examples in the middle of the presentation, and he used me. And then right away, as soon as he says my name, I'm like, uh-oh. I'm like, here comes the receipt. And I was ready for it. And it didn't come. He actually gave me a compliment. And I'm sitting there the whole keynote going, something's wrong here, because he's being too nice, or maybe he knows that, head office is everything here, and he's just going to calm it down because he's got the keynote of the keynote. Other than Dan Monahan and Valerie's presidential, this is the keynote. And then he ends his keynote, and he's got his double-breasted suit on, and they're all clapping for him and everything. And he turns away, and he comes back, and he goes, oh yeah, I almost forgot. And he hits the slide, and his team had taken a photo of the buffet and photoshopped signs of my face saying, beware of the buffet beast, to the entire fucking network. And I'm sitting in the middle of the room just watching the wave of laughter. And again, I can take it. I'm not, we talked about little fat boy. There's that little fat boy moment. But I'm like, well done, because like, you have to laugh. This is impressive. Like, how did you get this together? So we walk out of there. It's the hoot of laughing about it and so forth. And then I go to him, and he's just like, you son of a bitch. He's like, you attacked me first. So I messaged Sarah on my team, and I said, Sarah, you need to design something up real quick. My keynote goes on in like 2 or 3 hours. So she's whipping something together, and she puts it out there. And I was, oh, so it was you. So it's one of those, it is one of those funny memories. Look, I can take it. I'm the first person to call myself fat and this and that, whatever. Well done, because again, like, those WSI conventions are so great, but they have an element of laughter and fun of the works time, but it is very work serious in the work time. And then the fun is at the pool and the awards and everything. So that convention, we just tried to have a little bit of fun, and it was natural, and it wasn't planned or like, let's try to one up each other, but he one upped me, and it was a good one. So going back to that lyric, the resort buffet fears ops me. Now Scotland's calling, hey Jack, you're heavy. I'm laughing. Probably everybody's like, Mike, you're having way more fun with this than with this. Listen to the song. It's my favorite 2 lines, the entire thing, because it's my way of saying, hey, Jackie boy, I love you, buddy.
I like that. I like a good practical joke, and to be able to work it into something that's obviously a little bit more work related is nice too. So, and
we still laugh about it because it was hilarious, and it should be. It's like, again, like, don't take yourself. So I'm the most serious, intense guy. Don't take yourself so seriously. Like, he didn't mean it from a bad place. I wasn't crying afterwards. He made me laugh. He made others laugh. We did our job, and people will remember that for years to come, that we were the brunt of a joke. And, we got a great photo because of it, and I got a cool picture out of it. And well done to Sarah on his team at that time for putting a kick-ass Photoshop together in a very small amount of time. But yeah, I looked heavy, like I had absolutely destroyed the buffet, and all the people in Punta Cana were scared of me, which I may have done that week, but that's another story. By the way, Jackie boy, wait till one of my later songs, song number 15, gets displayed with Emily, because it gets even worse.
Oh boy. I have a question about this lyric, because it's actually kind of melting my brain. 1 paycheck away from becoming a hobo. Did you know I'm married to Bobo?
Yeah, that's another one of my favorite lines. And here's a little secret, even though, again, you and nobody else cares. That's the line that started this entire song.
Oh,
I was in the kitchen with my wife, Miss, and I'm like, I'm going to do another one of these. And she rolled her eyes like, great, like most people do. She literally is like, another one. She's not a fan. She doesn't care. And so I said, well, I work at WSI. I'm one check away from being a hobo. Hey, I ended up marrying Bobo. So I massaged it a little bit, and that's where it turned out. So, yeah, I just kind of said, like, at the, not like anybody, everybody lives paycheck to paycheck. I don't care who you are nowadays, kind of thing. But, one missed paycheck and, with a way of cost of living and everything else going on, could be on the streets. So that's the hobo part. And did you know I'm married to Bobo, and Bobo is one of the nicknames I call Miss because she looks like Bobo the Clown.
Aww.
So she's Bobo, amongst other nicknames that I have for her. But that's actually the one and only subtle reference to Miss, my wife, that I have in any of the songs. So one check away from becoming a hobo. Did you know I'm married to Bobo?
There you go.
So if you didn't know, that's Miss.
That's nice. I kind of want to just talk a little bit about, I guess, I don't know how to phrase this, but I guess sort of the rhythmic qualities of the song, because I know, Mike, you sort of like to make sure there's at least one or two parts of a song that sort of punch you in the face, but in a good way. Would you say that, I think we've already sort of touched on one of those verses, which is that one that starts with "this sets back our growth, what the hell," and then sort of ends up with "bye bye Mr. Client, you're a waste of time." Would you say that that's the one that kind of hits you in the face the hardest in this song, or is there another one you think is a better
one? Well, that one there I think is really good because there's so much in that 4 lines, right? Like I said, this sets back our growth, what the hell, I'm down, chaos, I thrive, and then the whole punchline, like, it just flows really well. It's like when we talked about chasing deadlines, and is it chasing deadline? No, it's in Alberta's Coming, which we haven't gone through yet, but the one about, did we solve anything? Nope. Okay, buddy, bye. Like, it just hits on a note where you're just like, got it. That's a really good one. But I will say the other one that I do like that maybe is a little bit different outside of the ones we've already kind of laughed about is the one towards the end as it kind of wraps up. Is my ops burning, or is it all in my head? I sleep some, not well, 2 dogs in our bed, 12 hours typing, still more to do, building your dreams while I drown in the queue. I like that one.
Yeah,
that's I don't know. It's just, again, I like this song because none of my songs are just generic. Like, one thing I when I'm going through it, it's not, like I've said, it's not GPT generated just for themes of this and that. Like, I really work on the lyrics because, even you said you were listening to something last week, another one that I was just vetting off of you, and you said, like, this has got you all over it because you've gotten to know me over the last 6 to 8 months. And so you know more about me. So now you can kind of read in the lyrics and make, there's Mike, because that's what is important to me, is like, anybody can generate bullshit, but how deep do you want to go so that they are unique, to set aside from anybody else that can generate something in AI. And that, I take a lot of pride in that it's like, my lyrics are an extension of my brain, experiences, memories, funny, bad, whatever it may be, but they are unique. So again, if you're in WSI, if you're in digital marketing, if you've been my friend for any amount of time, if you're a loved one, you will connect the dots on some of this stuff, even though you may not understand all of it. So I just like that one because it's that verse there is like the reflection verse for me. It's like, okay, I'm frustrated through the song. You've wasted my time. It's a mistake, blah, blah, blah. And then it's like, is my ops really burning, or am I just jamming this all up in my head? And that's way many ops managers are, trying to think too many steps ahead. But that's also the way I am, is like, you always think everything is crumbling from within. And then you're kind of like, it ain't that bad. You're just tired and stressed today, or frustrated. But like, it's like even going to therapy, they say, draw a line in the middle and put everything good in one bucket and put everything bad in another bucket. And when your eyes kind of see it, it's like, it ain't as daunting as you thought. So the mind plays a lot of tricks. I like that line because I deal with that. And then I sleep some, not well. I've never been a great sleeper, but yeah, we got 2 dogs in our bed, and it's a fight for room. Mrs. Sideways, one dog's over here, another dog's over there, and one just going to wake up wondering whether you're going to have balls in your face or you're going to have, Emma sprawled out in front of you, like, "Hi, honey, let me sleep on your bum." But there's nothing better than having dogs in bed. That's for sure. I don't care what
I
anybody says.
I always
Hmm?
say it's a litmus test question: is the dog allowed on the bed? The answer should always
Sure.
be yes.
Well, yeah. Well, some people don't like that, and I get it, but it's like it's not even being lonely. It's like they're therapeutic in bed. It's just kind of like going to bed with one hand on your animal, just warm body, or hearing them breathe or whatever else is like so soothing to kind of fall asleep and not be so worried. I call our dogs therapy workers. They
Aw.
just know how to de-stress us. They're wonderful. And I think all animals are like that, no matter what animal you have. They are your own support workers of navigating. They're all your service animal, even though they're not all designated as a service animal. So that's what that's about. 12 hours typing, 12 hours a common day in ops. And there's always more to do. And yeah, I'm building your dreams while I'm dying in the queue. Not my dreams.
There's got to be something fulfilling about that, though, knowing that you're helping someone else
Of course there
build
is.
a
That's
business.
It goes back to that first, the comment saying who hurt you at the top.
Yeah.
It's that fear of this one. I take so much pride, accountability, and intensity in just making sure I take care of people. I don't know why I'm wired that way. Some people aren't. But I can't rest until other people are taken care of, whether that's our staff, whether that's my Peter, whether that's you ladies in Alberta. My job is to remove stress from people and take it on, whether that's been chosen for me or not. Like, that's just the way I'm wired, is, take care of people. And that's where I get my self gratification, that knowing that you've done a good job, or, there's nothing better than a client or a friend or whatever just says like, "Hey man, I really appreciate you. Thanks for getting me out of this jam. Man, you really made sure this event was a success. Hey, the results of your PPC campaign have changed my entire business this year." Like, that's why we do this, is to make a difference for people. And maybe that's the passion element of it, is it's not passion for digital marketing per se, but it's the passion of taking care of people, and knowing that if, again, what's your purpose in life, is to make a difference for others, right? I feel very strongly about that. Otherwise, what the hell are we doing it for? I don't think it's for your own gain. It's, do you want to leave a legacy behind that, God forbid you pass tomorrow and people are like, "We really miss him. We really miss her. He or she was one of the good people that we could trust and depend on, was always there." That's what I hope my legacy will be whenever Father Time chooses to say my time's up.
And I think, too, to kind of take it back to, I guess, a really just sort of plain ops moment, I think the best client relationships are when they treat you as an extension of their team rather than just someone they outsource things to.
Yes.
Um, but then you have that mutual buy-in, right? Of like, we're here to help you, like you've said in the song, build your dreams. But then it's like, okay, in knowing that you're helping me do that, I'm going to treat you like a member of my team.
Yes. And also, like, think about just the morale of team members. It's yourself or anybody. Your Christina's talked about it on the podcast about clients like that. But it's like, you'll go through a brick wall for that type of client. And not saying that every client's going to be like that, but those special clients that establish that type of relationship with you early on, you're just sitting there going like, "I'm motivated to work on your stuff. I want to make a difference for what we're trying to do for you," versus you do great work for somebody else and they may not just be wired that way and they're like, "Yeah, thanks." Now, you can't fault that person, but you're not sitting there going like, "Wow, I feel respected and appreciated," and all those things in customer service you just hope that you'll get in the response. But yeah, like those people that really are like, I have a client like that, and I know she listens to the podcast. I'll keep her name out of it, but she is just so kind to me and our team on what she thinks of us, what we do for her, how we are the saviors of her small marketing department for how much we can take on to take stress off of her, and just how she reciprocates it to us in multiple ways, whether it's an email, whether it's on camera, and so forth. You're just sitting there going like, you're just a wonderful person. And it's just like, that's why I get up and I'm going to be exhausted every day to try to help you tackle what you need to because you're just kind to me. And again, that's not about ops. That's just about human nature. And we've lost that as time goes on, right? Is that we're so on guard and on attack to murder somebody, if you will, verbally through email or text because of unhappiness or frustration. But it's amazing what happens when you're nice to somebody. Hi, how are you? Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Like, you really don't know what those type of words are going to do to anybody's mojo and getting them out of darkness, depending on how they woke up that day. So I always love that kind of graphic that says, like, just because somebody's smiling on the outside doesn't mean they're in the feeble position in the corner crying on the inside. So, just be a little nicer in your approach sometimes. Ask a question versus making a statement. And it's amazing how people will put a little extra elbow grease into helping whatever you're paying them to do or the time you're willing to give them. And I think that's the best way I can explain that.
Yeah, 100%. If you're listening and you have hired an agency or any form of consultant, know that whenever we get those nice messages from you that are, giving us kudos, giving us thanks, we share it amongst the team. So it's a shared team sort of.
Yes.
Like, we really do appreciate those messages. So please.
We really do, especially in a technology and electronic screen world that we're in now more than ever. My Peter has always been great in his mentorship because I used to get disappointed when somebody wouldn't give us a compliment. This is in my younger years of kind of growing up and learning how to attack it and whatever. And he used to say, he goes, Mike, if I can give you a piece of advice, sure. And he goes, don't ever look for a compliment. He goes, it won't come and you're going to be very disappointed. He goes, but when it comes and it catches you off guard, he goes, just sit in that moment and just take it in and feel good about it for that moment, because that's the moment that's the drug. That's the moment that just zeroes out the other 4 bad days of ops, the pressures in the project that, you and the client were butting heads or whatever. And he couldn't have been more right with his wisdom, being an owner that has far more experience at the time than I did. And I really believe that is just, if you put your best foot forward and you take care of people, whether it's your response, your accountability, or your execution, and they are willing to reflect and share praise with you and your team, that is how you build strategic partnerships over being, like you said earlier, a vendor or a supplier. Because if they're treating you like that, and rightfully so, they're in it for one thing. We're paying you to do something, but we don't really care if you do it or not. And if you don't do it well, we're going to replace you with another vendor or supplier, versus a strategic partnerships going. Remember what your Christina said about the one client that the new executive came in and was like, what are we going to do with Christina? And like, don't you touch Christina. Do you know Christina and Emily get on it on the weekend and solve hosting issues so I don't have to freaking even know about it? Like, that is my rock. That's strategic partnership, where somebody is scared to lose that partnership, knowing that you are part of the glue and you are part of their, as you said so eloquently, you are part of their team. What a wonderful compliment for any of us that are trying to navigate ops.
Yeah. And I mean, it does allow us to sort of build our relationships with some great people too, right? So it really is valuable on both sides. We are running out of time here, but I do just want to check in, Mike, and see if there's anything else you think people should know about this song, because we're going to throw it at the end of the episode and have people listen to it. So is there anything else they should know before they tune in?
Yeah. There's not much more to say. Like I said, that we went through some of the fun lyrics, but this song for me is fun because with the Suno AI tool, you really have to play with language and the style and in some of the instructions to try to convey what sound you want. And some of it is randomized and you'll start to see patterns in what's generating. And that's the frustration. But I really kind of keep going on these until I find that sound I want. And this one here has a different sound than some of my other ones. This is more kind of like, I almost want to say like late 90s pop punk or late 90s. It's got a faster beat to it. The drums kind of drive through the verses on this one versus, different sounds and emotions. And this one kind of just feels fast. There's not a lull period in this one where you kind of have, let's slow it down, let's bring it up, because I like that roller coaster. This one, like as soon as it gets going with the hey ho whoa, let's go, and then it just goes, it just kind of picks up speed and just keeps going and going, and then it stops. And then at the end, it's got this kind of like distorted kind of sound ambiance that I have to chop down a little bit for you, Emily, because it's too long. But there's this cool kind. It's almost like kind of the band mic dropped, put the guitars against the feed, and then just left it. You know, when bands leave and there's just static noise, and it just kind of like, what the hell happened? And then you have this nice little like exit, and then it's like gone. So yeah, it's just a different rush of emotion, I guess. And I haven't been able to replicate a song out of all the other ones I've done. I haven't been able to replicate something with this similar sound. So this is a cool one that I like. And like I said, it was my first one to kind of really have fun with Jack. Fun to bring in Bobo. And yeah, sorry, Ops Mike, what's that and where?
Nice. Okay. Well, like I said, we're going to throw it at the end of the episode, so make sure you tune in. Mike, what else should people do if they like the Angry Ops Guy podcast?
Yeah, so we would really appreciate if you go to any of the major podcast streaming sites like Spotify, Apple, and so forth. Give us a 5-star rating. We're working to improve our ratings with more and more people that follow the podcast. So that would be great to get a rub if you're a listener to the podcast. We're on Instagram and YouTube, Angry Ops Guy _WSI. All the podcasts and bonus informations. The songs are slowly being dropped there. Also, we just launched on LinkedIn because obviously a lot of WSI and ops people are on LinkedIn. So kind of moving into that platform as another way to be able to post out our stuff so more people will find it and see if more of a following will be there outside of what we've already been able to acquire. And lastly is just, I've been telling everybody that these songs are available, but I did not realize how challenging it was to get these on streaming providers. So I have finally figured it out in a way that you have to upload them and basically get them approved, and then they will be found on whatever ones that you want. So I'm working to put them on there. And if you follow any of our profiles on the link tree, you'll be able to see where they're available right now. And we're going to be adding more there, but they will be fully streamable in proper quality on Spotify and YouTube Music and YouTube. That's where we're going to start. And you can also find them on Instagram and Meta. If you're trying to add them to a reel or anything, they're going to be there too. So, we've got a couple of them that we've released with Emily here, and the bonus content's already there. And there's going to be a couple more each week going up until we kind of put the whole album together, and then we can give it a whirl and make no money on it. But yeah, just give us a follow. We're doing this for other WSI franchises. We're doing this for the network. We're doing it for other digital marketers. We're doing it just as a way to lighten up your day, have a little bit of therapy with your friends, talk about the struggles and pressures of day-to-day operations. And then these songs are just meant to make you turn it up and laugh for a moment, kick and scream, or whatever you got to do. So as always, Emily, I really appreciate you finding time to sit down with me and go through another one. And maybe we'll be back at it in a couple of weeks. What do you say?
You betcha. I'm on board.
So did we solve anything today?
Absolutely not.
Of course. Okay, buddy. Have a good week.
Good luck.